Okay, so now we're going to take a look at creating tables and unordered lists and lists within an HTML file. I've already created a project which I've called example 3. If you're not sure how to create a project, you can take a look at one of the other videos. At this point, I'm going to assume that you can create one of the videos. If you run into a problem, again, you can always contact me through the Hofstra email. I created a file already called tables.html. I'll just show you. If you right mouse click in this empty area, click New, and then File, it will ask you to create a file within your project. In this case, I have example 3, and I would just put in my tables.html, which is what I had already done. So I'll click Cancel there. So we're going to begin. We'll create our HTML tags. I'll create some space. So I've got the open HTML and the closed HTML. And you're going to see me now start to use some indentation so that I can easily see where things line up. So I have my body tag here and my closed body, and you'll see the indentations are basically allowing me to understand or see more clearly on the screen that the body tag belongs to HTML. Anything that's indented kind of belongs to the element above it. So what we're going to do is I'll just create a title here. We'll again use our H1 title, and we'll say our first use of tables and lists. So there's our H1 tag, and we are completed with that. And I'll fix the little spelling error there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a table. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a 3x2 table or 3x3 table, whichever your preference. I will open up my table tag, and I'll hit enter a couple times so that now I know that everything between them belongs to that table. I will then create my first row, which is here. And again, I'll put some spaces in by hitting enter so that I know that things between the rows are, in between these TR tags are the columns between the rows. I will then use my TD for table data, and I will basically say this is column 1. Now, again, I can call this as column 1, or I can actually give this a heading, so why don't we just change this to name. This will act as a heading for us. And then what we'll do is we'll do another TD, and we will say that the next thing will be our student ID. Student ID. And then what we might do is we might do another TD for major. And there's my closed TD. So that ends up closing out my first row. And we should basically see that the first row has 3 columns. So what I'll do is I'll add another row, again using TR. I'll add some spaces in there. And we'll put the first person in. So we'll say this is Jane Doe. I'll close my TD tag. Oops, I already had it in. Sorry. I'll put in another one, and this will correspond to the student ID, which will be 700,000,001. Probably have too many digits in there. And then the final one will be another TD, and the major, which will be information systems. And now that I've finished that, I can just bring this back. I don't need to bring this back, but it just kind of looks a little bit better when we don't have these spaces in between them. And I will just copy this whole row, that's everything from 14 to line 18 here, which is my TR because it has all the columns. I'll just copy those in here so I don't have to retype it. And I will put in John Doe as the name. And I'll change this ID to information to 2, and the major will be information systems and business analytics. There we go. And so this basically is our table. So we'll take a look at how this works, or what this looks like. So we're going to publish this HTML file to our directory, and we're basically going to right mouse click and click Publish. And if you have the Run Web Deployment Wizard only as the option, for this project you'll have to reset the connection, and I'll show you how to fix that at a later time. What we're going to do here is we're just going to upload. We want to upload this file, and it uploads it to the directory that we had set, which was my public HTML directory. So at that point, I'm going to open up Firefox. So now when I have Firefox open and I go to the tables.html file on the domain, you'll see that it basically has our first use of tables and lists, which is our H1. And you'll see these kind of look like they're in columns with the name, student ID, and major. Now what we're going to do is we're going to play around with this a little bit. We're going to make some changes. The easiest change that we can make is we're just going to add a simple border to the table. So we'll put border equals 1, and this should create a border of about 1 pixel around every element that we have. So I'll save the file. I will then right mouse click on the tables HTML, publish, upload. And once it's uploaded, I'm going to go back into Firefox. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to refresh the screen. When I refresh it, you'll see that it has now put a nice border around our table, which is what we would have expected. So then we'll go back into Aptana Studio here, and what we're going to do is we're going to just play around with lists a little bit. So we'll create first an unordered list. Again, I put in the UL tag, and it automatically gives me the /UL. We then create our list item, and what we'll do is we'll say for this, sorry, we'll bring this back here. I like it over here. We'll basically say classes that we hope to take. So we'll say Introduction to Healthcare Analytics, and then I might do another list item. And again, I could move the LI to the other line, but I like to leave these on the same line. That's just a personal preference. Introduction to Business Analytics. Okay, and that gives me my unordered list. And to save time, I'm going to actually copy this unordered list down here. We'll paste it down there. And I will just change this unordered list to an ordered list, but not change anything else. We'll just keep the Introduction to Healthcare Analytics and Introduction to Business Analytics. If you'd like to see, the change to know which one you're using, I'll just write the word new, just so that you can see which one was different. Now that they're done, I'm going to save them. I will then right mouse click on the file, publish, upload. So the file will get uploaded. We'll just hide these messages in the future. They get a little annoying at times. And then I will go back into my Firefox. And what we will do is we will refresh the screen. And you'll see that it added the unordered list here. And then it put in an ordered list with the numbers 1 and 2. The other thing I just want to show you really quick is you don't always have to upload it to the file to see what it's going to look like. When we go into Aptana, if you want, we can right mouse click in this area in the right side where it says tables.html, and we can do open with web browser. And what it will do is it will open this file on your local system just so you can kind of see what it looks like. When I click that to open with the web browser, you will see that it's actually using this command file : / is actually doing it off of your local machine. So we don't have to upload it, but you're going to want to upload it so that I can see it. I can't see it if it's on your local machine. But this is a way to run some quick tests just to see if you make a change, how it would look instead of having to upload it every time. So it's a little bit more use of Aptana.